还有
好，
谁录？如果在
我
录
也顺便录一嘴吧。嗯，
嗯，
那开始了啊。好，三，贾哥，你头像你要不换一下？
啊，不能用这个吗？
你还是露脸吧。
好，
OK，好，三、二、一。Hello everyone. Today we will give a brief discussion on differences in design between relational and non-relational implementation and a discussion on the data-driven insights specific to question 11 and question 12. And first, let me introduce SQL and MongoDB shortly. Uh, SQL, which means Structured Query Language, is a relational database management system that uses a structured query language to manage and operate data. However, MongoDB is a non-relational, which means NoSQL database that uses a document-oriented structure, storing data in JSON and BSON format. And to effectively explain the differences in design between SQL and the MongoDB databases, here is a focus on comparisons using question 11 and question 12. And the first is data structure and schema flexible. SQL uses a strict table structure with predefined columns and data types. For question 11, SQL identifies issues in low-rated reviews using case statements on keywords, fitting well in a structured setup. MongoDB, however, is more flexible, storing data as JSON-like documents that can have different structures within the same collection. In question 11, MongoDB dynamically tags issues by matching keywords with switch and rejects, which is ideal for unstructured data that may change over time. And second is query language and complexity. SQL structured query language works well with complex joins and aggregations across tables. In question 12, SQL uses join and group by to analyze custom complaints and making it powerful when data relations are clear. MongoDB's aggregation pipeline handles complex queries by processing data in stages. For question 12, it classifies travelers and issues dynamically with count and groups, simplifying operations on nested or irregular data without requiring joins. And third is data relationships. In SQL, relationships are defined with foreign keys and normalized across tables. For question 12, SQL uses join between customer booking and airline reviews tables, ensuring consistent relational data handling. MongoDB can embed related data with documents, avoiding joins. For question 12, travelers' details and complaints could be nested, improving efficiency for scenarios where data doesn't need strict normalization. And the last part is scalability and use cases. SQL databases typically scale vertically, suiting structured data and smaller data sets. However, MongoDB is designed for horizon scaling across multiple servers, ideal for large-scale and dynamic data like user reviews and interactions. And here comes to the conclusion. SQL is best for applications needing strong consistency and complex relationships like finance. However, MongoDB is ideal for flexible and large scale and involving data like social media. And next part, let's welcome my partner to introduce the question 11 insights more specifically.
Okay, I will talk about the insights of question 11. Next page. In question 11, we need to answer a question. What are the common complaints? So let's first see some example of the complaints. You can see in the comments there are several words that can indicate a certain type of complaints. Like in the first paragraph, The delay means the flight is delayed, and in the second one, narrow means the seat is narrow. So, next page, please. So we first calculated the most frequent words in the comments. We list separate words in comments with rating less than 2, and I manually selected some negative words that may symbolize complaints. And you can see the graph. The top three words are mess, delayed, and canceled. Then we create a next page. Then we create a comparison table to connect words with complaints, and with SQL select, we can get the required result. Next, Yuting.
Using the same idea, we choose 11 different words to represent different problems in MongoDB. The results are shown as below. Taking Qatar Airways and Family Letters as example, the top 5 questions are seat problem, delayed flights, refund issues, and flight cancellations. Then my teammates will talk about the insight of question 12.
Okay, in question 12, actually based on question 11, we are able to find the main complaints types. Meantime, the main fields useful for analysis in airlines reviews could be classified as these. Well, we can see the airlines in Singapore or Qatar, the reviews from travelers, the type of travelers that can classify into business and leisure, and month flow, class of seats, roads, from city to city, and rating in 5 specific aspects and 1 overall rating. Well, we could see from the chart that although main types of complaints are identified, but the rest of fields seem like not the reason for complaints, but further details for the reviews, like the specific rating for different aspects. So we are done here in this part of data and should move to another. Well, as for the customer booking, the main fields useful for analysis could be classified as these. There are a number of passengers, sale channel and origin city, triple types, purchase lead days, length of stay in the destination, flight hour and week of day, route from original to destination, but in the abbreviation of airports format, passengers preference in 3 areas, and flight duration hours. From this chart, we know that this part of data has the preferences of different passengers. So it is likely that the preferences have connections with the complaints. So now the goal of our team is to set up a kind of collection well better in correspondence of characters for the 2 datasets. Well, the first field to be considered is the route. If the route in the airline reviews could be successfully transferred into abbreviations of airports, we could make it as unique identification. Well, we download a list of airports codes against the cities from official websites for a trial run. But even with external supporting, we can only match 23 out of 400 not recommended records across 2 parts of data, shown as this picture. Well, the main reason for the unmatching is due to the 2 datasets being collected by 2 different airlines and likely at different times. So if we focus on the specific units matching, we cannot get the whole page from it. So for the next try, we put our focus on the pre-analysis of each dataset because specific match is impossible. Therefore, pre-analyze for each part and then compile the results should be feasible. Well, this time, we regard the number of travelers, purchase lead, length of stay, passengers preference, flight duration as useful. Well, in the airline reviews, we noticed that there were 4 types of travelers, and they could divide it into business and leisure. Well, from practical experience, when people booking for business, the purchase lead days are more likely being narrow. But for leisure trip, the arrangement are more likely to be settled earlier. So we take 14 hours as a distinguished standard. Any booking within 2 days before the departure is regarded as business trip, vice versa. Also, we use the number of passengers and divide them into solo equals 1, couple equals 2, and family more than 2. Correspondence is like this. Well, after the batching, we now have the same standard for travelers grouping, and we can analyze their preferences and behaviors in two datasets previously. Then we can dig further to find whether there exist relations between different groups of passengers' requirements and their complaints. Furthermore, the length of stay, passengers' preferences, flight duration seem to be the most possible cause for the complaints. Okay, and let's move to Jinyi's part and find out her results.
Okay, next I will introduce how we interpret the outputs of our data analysis and our answers to question 12. There are main two parts. The first part is to analyze the potential traveler types for complaints. According to the average overall ratings of each type of traveler, we found the business traveler have the lowest average scores. It means that business travelers are more likely to complain. Additionally, the traveler types of solo leisure and the couple leisure traveler are also potential source of complaints. And for the review ratings on different aspects, all traveler types posted low review ratings on value for money, seat, and food and beverage. Next page. The second part, we hope to identify the causes for complaints by analyzing the preferences of each traveler type. The main complaints from all traveler types include seat problems and delayed flights and unsatisfactory meals. Besides, business travelers frequently complain about the expensive price and flight cancellation. Complaints from solo leisure travelers also focused on the flight cancellations and the stop service. And the couple leisure travelers posted low review ratings on almost all aspects, and their complaints were too often related with the refunding issues and flight cancellations. Business travelers, they tend to book in-flight meals in advance, which may explain why they are more likely to complain about the meals. Similarly, for the family travelers who also frequently book in-flight meals have lower average review ratings for food and beverage. And compared to the couple and family leisure travelers, business travelers generally spend more days at their destinations, and we suppose this is another reason for their complaints about the price, as high prices might reduce their travel frequency and forcing them to stay longer at their destination. And the solo leisure travelers tend to have longer stays and flight durations, which may make them more focused on the staff service, leading to more complaints about the rude staff. Couple travelers, they are more likely to request preferred seating and extra baggage. Their desire to plan an enjoyable flight in advance may indicate a tendency toward perfectionism, and which could lead to them to post a lower review ratings. Moreover, preferred seating and extra baggage services often require additional payments. In cases of cancellation of delay, the refund process for these extra services fees can be complex, and which might explain why couple travelers frequently complain about the refund issues. And next page. On this page, we try to answer the question 12, and next page. That's all about our discussion on question 11 and question 12. Thank you.